If you have spent blood, sweat, and tears building everything that you've built up to this point, and you meet someone after that, you need to have a prenuptial agreement, and you need to get that locked in. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Everybody, it's Darren with Isaiah. Hi, Isaiah.
How's it going, Darren?
Hey, it's going well, and I want to welcome you to this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
For all things multifamily.
for all things multifamily, and this episode is going to get a lot of comments. It's going to get a lot of comments. Is prenuptial agreements, or what's called a prenup. I'm going to start with a story. And this is in the days where I spent most of my time selling apartment communities for people. So here's a guy, he calls me and says, Darren, I want you to help me sell my 8-unit building. I've only had it for a little bit over a year and I need to sell it. Okay, so what do you think my first question is to him when he tells me that? What do you think it is?
I have no clue.
If you've only owned it a year,
Okay.
if you've only owned it a year, why are you selling it? You know, that's my first question. Something's got to be wrong. Nothing to do with the property. Had to do with his marriage. He's getting a divorce. Here's where it gets real interesting. So he tells me that for 15 years prior to that, he bought 3 small converted house kind of properties and spent 15 years working on it, fixing it, painting it, making the properties just look fantastic. So towards the end of this 15-year period, he gets married and decides that he wants to maybe slow down a little bit on the management side of things, not own 3 properties, but it'd be good to own one. So what he decided to do, which is kind of smart, is sell the 3 properties, take that money, roll it into an 8-unit property, new construction, reap the rewards in his hard work of 15 plus years, putting it into the new property so he owns a new 8-unit property. You know where I'm going with this story now, right? You know where I'm going here?
Yeah.
Okay. He's married to this lady now, not even 2 years. She wants a divorce. Now here he is, basically 17 years into his multifamily investment career, we'll call it, having a conversation about splitting half of the money that he has made over 17 years with someone he's only been married to for 2 years. Talk about a frickin' tragedy. What do you think he needed to have before he got married?
Prenup.
Duh, right? Obvious question of the day, a prenuptial agreement. Okay, here's story number 2. A guy good friend of mine. He's a single guy. He's spent, again, 15, 20 years working on all of these properties, making them as good as they can be. Did all the work, all the management, et cetera, et cetera. You get the picture, okay? He comes to me one day and he says, hey, I've met somebody. Things are going great. Awesome, terrific. A few months later, he calls me. Hey, I'm getting married. What? You're getting married? Yeah, I told you about her. That's great. Will you be the best man in my wedding? Sure. Love to be your best man in your wedding. Congratulations. Sounds great. Terrific. Good for you. I said, by the way, have you talked about a prenuptial agreement? Again, you've put all this work into it. You're getting married. You don't want to be having the conversation a few years down the road about splitting everything with someone that was not involved with any of it, right? He says, no, I haven't. I said, dude, you got to have the conversation. I want you to think about this. So I told him and went over everything, my logic. He said, man, yeah, you're right. So long story short, he gets a prenuptial agreement. Wedding comes, great wedding. I'm in the wedding. I'm the best man. They get married. Everything's great. About a year later, I get a call from him. I'm having a problem with this relationship. The marriage isn't working out. If you were to guess what the main problem that has come up in this relationship now was, what do you think it is?
She's upset about the prenup.
100%. She's pissed. She's now gone ballistic because of the prenuptial agreement. She's left him. She's moved out taking the son. She's living in an apartment, and she's not coming back until what happens?
So he gets rid of the prenup.
Until he gets rid of the prenup. Well, after I had that conversation with him, what do you think he ended up doing?
Getting rid of the prenup.
He got rid of the prenup. And at the same time, the other thing that was gotten rid of was me. I was gotten rid of too. And so funny, isn't it? Now, as a matter of fact, he stops talking to me. And of course, she's not talking to me. And it ended very, very badly. Okay. Which is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's the way that it goes. What I'm telling you is real experiences that I've had. And I could tell you 4 more stories just like it. Okay. So here's the one case where I'm not all in on a prenup is if she built it with you.
I was going to say.
If she built it with you. Were you going to say that?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Or with you from when you started really low and then she was there the whole time and it was before you already had the money and then she came along.
100%. I don't think you sit down and say, honey, we need to have a prenup. I think that'd be a really bad idea.
She might get rid of you.
Oh, yeah. It's a really bad idea. That's an example of no, you don't want to have a prenup there. She's been there, done that, been with you. No, you're not going to do that. Okay. But guys, listen to me. And by the way, this goes for women too. This isn't just a man thing. If you have spent blood, sweat, and tears building everything that you've built up to this point, and you meet someone after that, you need to have a prenuptial agreement and you need to get that locked in. There's been too many people that have thought, oh, it's all going to work out. We don't need one. Or have been talked into and even threatened and intimidated into not or dissolving a prenuptial agreement. That is a really, really bad idea. This is something that needs to be at least thought about and discussed how important it is. So Isaiah, any kind of questions or feedback from anything that I've mentioned? Have what I talked about, any of those stories surprise you at all?
No.
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 Because you've seen it. I mean, you're not personally. You've not seen it or experienced it personally, but you've seen it with some of the people that we deal with.
Yes, and that's how we talked about that recently.
Yeah. So guys, we're hoping that this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show has been of some value to you, even though we talked about something that, is a little uncomfortable, something that doesn't quite get the airtime, I guess I'd call it, that you think would. But guys, this is something you've got to lock into, especially if you can relate with those two stories, real experiences of multifamily owners and investors, probably in some ways like you. If you can relate to those stories, the lesson is here. Please take the lesson and apply it. So Isaiah, thank you for joining me on this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
for all things multifamily.
For all things multifamily. Thank you very much. We'll see you. Bye-bye. If you want to get your hands on more great multifamily real estate content, make sure you click here. If you want to invest passively in great multifamily real estate, make sure you click here.